Hello and welcome to Queer Lounge. My name is Rashad Robinson. I'm the Senior Director of Programs at GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. I'm here with Maurice Jamal, filmmaker, writer extraordinaire, who has a film, Dirty Laundry, which is in theaters right now, and is here at Sundance. And why are you here, Maurice? Why don't you tell us, our viewers at our website, kind of why you're here and what brings you to Sundance?
Most definitely. Well, you know, Sundance is an amazing festival, and there's so much amazing independent voice and cinema that comes out. But specifically this year, I'm here for the Black House Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization which is all about empowering African Americans in the film industry, in front of the camera and behind the camera. So we're here. We have a fabulous lounge right up the street from you guys, and yeah, we're hosting a bunch of workshops and parties and things like that.
That's excellent. And you've come to actually Queer Lounge for a couple of years now.
Oh, definitely.
And so why don't you tell us maybe some about kind of some of the things that you've done at Queer Lounge and some of the work you've done here, as well as, you know, Black House?
Well, definitely. I mean, you know, as an out filmmaker, Queer Lounge really is sort of it's like a home, it's like a hub. I mean, you can't come to Sundance and not pop in. And so for me, it's been great. It's been a sense of community. I've been able to network with other filmmakers. They've been gracious, and I've been on a couple of panels over the past couple of years. And it really is sort of a place where we can have dialogue and sort of talk openly and honestly about the things that are going on for us as artists, in particular in the queer community.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad, you know, for the past couple of years, we've done a lot of work around coming out.
Right.
You know, we have our Announcing Equality campaign, a lot of other kind of campaigns that really urge people across all different communities to come out. And what was really exciting about Dirty Laundry was the coming out story of Dirty Laundry. So why don't you tell folks who maybe haven't seen it or who are kind of at home and have the opportunity in the cities where it's playing right now to go out and see Dirty Laundry, a little bit about the movie and some of the things that they're going to see when they go out and support your work.
Definitely. I mean, it's a fantastic film, if I say so myself. It's sort of a prodigal son fable with a little bit of a gay twist. And it's about a black gay man, Patrick, played by Rockman Dunbar, who sort of has the perfect life. You know, perfect apartment, perfect boyfriend, perfect wardrobe. And then one day he realizes that he may or may not have a son that he didn't know about. And that causes him to go back to the rural southern community he's from and deal with the family he hadn't talked to in the last 10 years. And you know, it's been great because we've screened the film all across the country, and audiences, whether they've been young, old, black, white, gay, or straight, have really related to the story, because there's something about leaving home and rebuilding your life, but realizing that you've still got to go back and deal with some of those family issues, and you can't really grow as a person. Obviously, there's a coming out theme in it. You know, a friend of mine says that you can't be heard in silence and you can't be seen in the dark. And so Dirty Laundry really sort of emphasizes that and talks about the fullness that I think we can have as gay Americans when we are out and about, but also the fact that there's something wonderful that can happen with our families when we sort of take a deep breath and step out on faith and take that leap, and talk about what's going on in our lives with, you know, with mom and dad and, you know, Aunt Peanut and, you know, all those folks.
Absolutely. You know, one of the powers of new media and websites is that we can, you know, for folks who can't make it to Park City, Utah, they can see what we're talking about here and see filmmakers like you who are putting out products, independent writing, doing all sorts of things to really get their voice out to the public. Why don't you give some tips to folks who may be watching this right now and saying, like, you know, I have a voice, I have a story to tell, I have stories that I want to tell, and I'm watching Maurice, and, you know, how did Maurice go from, you know, having this idea and this concept to putting it forward and kind of putting out his voice?
You know, I've always said it's sort of a mixture of denial and just being bold, meaning people will tell you all the time that you can't do something. But the reality is there are things that only you can do. Only one person can tell your story. Only one person has your voice. So it's important to believe in that. And when the no's come, because the no's are going to come down like rain, but when the no's come, just to realize that it's okay, because you're unique and you're special and you're amazing, and so you have to push that out. If you don't tell your story, no one else is going to, and so that film doesn't get made, that book isn't written, that dance isn't choreographed, that song isn't sung. So yeah, you gotta go out there and do it, people. You just got to do it. Look right now, put the camera right on me. Go out there, people, and do it. Tell your story and do it your way.
And in your films, how much of these stories are your story?
Well, let's see. Is my attorney around? It's a mix. I mean, I think obviously, I mean, I try to write honestly, and I want to have integrity in my work. And so I write emotional stories, whether they're comedies or romances. And so experiences I've had that sort of pull on my heart find their way in. So in Dirty Laundry, the details, you know, have been changed to protect the guilty, not so innocent, but the essence of the story is very similar to things that I went through with my family.
Excellent. And so what's next? You're talking to folks all around Park City, and so do you have projects that you're trying to pitch? Do you have things you're
I'm
trying to work
basically
on?
unstoppable. I'm a one-man conglomerate
Okay.
setting out to take over the media world. No, things are great. I mean, I've got 3 films coming up. I have an action film with Boris Kojo that I'm directing this year. The film adaptation of the book B-Boy Blues, I'm very excited about. I've been developing it for a couple of years, and it's going to happen now, and people are really excited. And then I have a romantic comedy called Valentine's Day, which will shoot in 2008. So, you know, you will not be able to get rid of me, people.
And it looks like Maurice Jamal won't be sleeping in the year 2000.
I don't need no sleep. No sleep, especially not here at the Crew Lounge, because they have vodka, tonics, and things like that, and energy drinks. So you just mix them up, you be good. That's my recipe.
Well, thank you for coming down. Thank you for all the work you've done with GLAAD over the years. This is Maurice Jamal, filmmaker, director, writer extraordinaire, and I'm Rashad Robinson with GLAAD. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with more folks as we continue our work here at Queer Lounge and the Sundance Film Festival.